From the most dangerous rollovers to multiple car crashes, here we have jaw-dropping dash cam crashes that shocked the internet. In California, a van driver cut off a dash cammer and made him hit another car while spinning on the road. This was some GTA stuff. This crash was insane because a black car drove straight into a highway with cars going 60 miles per hour. It could have been way worse. I don't know what's the matter with people running red lights. Just wait 30 seconds, man. This driver captured the end of a shocking chase. But that's not as shocking as this crash. On a highway in Illinois, a guy captured a crash with a fatal outcome.
And the other one, younger, and Tom Clancy, the Grisham, working at bigger agencies. Also ICM, it's out here in Hollywood as well.
In Ohio, a driver captured a movie-like crash that left destruction behind. On Russian roads, a crash that shocked everyone occurred. At an intersection in Texas, a wild T-bone that shattered everything in its path happened.
Whoa!
The repair cost for this crash could break records. At an intersection, a driver caught a T-bone so violent it was hard to believe. This car led to a crash with dire consequences. Speaking of bad endings, look at this crash in Chicago. Hit-and-run drivers are the worst.
Oh my God. Oh, wow.
Same response did this driver, another idiot. In Russia, a driver crashed and everything ended in a catastrophic way. But that's not the most shocking crash that happened in Russia. In North Dakota, a driver caught a rollover that it's almost impossible to save. Looks bad, but not as bad as this shocking crash in Colorado. Still in Colorado, look at this crazy T-bone. If you are an experienced driver, you probably still remember the first crash you ever witnessed. Well, This driver caught his first time on camera. At an intersection, this driver faced death. This car tried to overtake, but everything ended in the worst way possible. Both rear and front footage caught a wild crash on a highway.
A la oficina de Blockbuster y le hace una oferta para unirse los dos, para asociarse. Blockbuster y le hace una oferta para unirse los dos, para asociarse. Le dice, cómprame mi compañía.
Imagine witnessing this accident. Must be shocking. In Poland, a security camera captured a crash that ended in a fatal way. But that's not as crazy as this head-on in Russia. At an intersection in Idaho, a T-bone that nobody saw coming happened. Intersections are really dangerous. Maybe we should change the road system or the driver's brains. A few more centimeters, and it could have been a total disaster. I think the bill reparation will cost more than the car itself. In Georgia, a shocking crash occurred, and I bet it costed millions to repair. Imagine checking your parked car dash cam footage and find this. This guy was driving when, out of nowhere, a speeding car crashed and everything turned into a disaster.
Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa!
This Tesla literally predicted an accident before it happened. After a rain, roads can be in a really bad state, as you can see here. To have more luck on the roads, make sure to subscribe to this channel. On a highway in Texas, a car lost control and everything spiraled out of control. Speaking of losing control, look at what happened to this driver in Arizona. In Tennessee, a driver captured a head-on that left destruction behind. This Russian driver was driving when everything went extremely wrong. This is one of the wildest T-bones I've ever seen. Speaking of T-bones, look at this one in Utah, where a guy ignored a stop sign. But that's not as shocking as this crash in Oklahoma.
I will probably print sign and send it back. Oh, dang.
I bet this driver is still scared.
Says it just happened here and there. Remember, people get killed.
Oh, shit.
In Canada, a driver captured a multiple car accident that this driver never saw coming. I call this justice obstruction. In Russia, a car brake checked and even sent the car off the road. But that's not the craziest accident that happened in Russia.
Well, no, Easter falls.
Oh, fuck. Bro.
After seeing this clip, you will never run a red light. But there are so many mistakes, like not checking your mirrors. I think it's cheaper buying a new car than trying to repair this one. Was rough, but not as hard as this head-on collision. If I had a Mercedes, I would definitely sue the guy who crashed me and do the impossible to win. In Maryland, a dash cam captured a crash that shattered everything in its path. Have you ever asked who would win between a Mazda and a Ford? Take a look at this. This head-on collision totally destroyed a car. This video is a reminder that being impatient doesn't lead to anything good. This biker lived a real-life nightmare for a second.
The point of having a home security system
is the helicopter.
Whoa!
Which is why
In Florida, a driver caught a crash with irreversible damage. But that's not the only crash that occurred in Florida. This has to be traumatizing. This driver provoked a big chain reaction. This dash cam captured a surprising crash. T-bones always look shocking, but they are even more surprising when trucks are involved. In Ohio, a woman was driving when suddenly this happened. During a storm in Texas, a sports car almost crashed. In Italy, this silver car was trying to damage this big van and ended up losing. Exactly the same happened in California. At an intersection in Georgia, a driver captured the exact moment where everything went wrong. This reckless driver provoked a catastrophe.
And I thought about it. I was like, it's North Charleston.
Oh, behind us!
And they're putting her.
What happened?
Someone crashed.
In Mexico, a trucker stopped for a moment and everything spiraled out of control. In New York, a surveillance camera captured a crash that blindsided everyone.
They would stand up straighter. Oh my God, this thing really works.
The secret is the AccuPoint pressure pad that applies gentle targeted compression to the trigger point so the pain is turned off. In fact, it works so well.
For sure, this driver dozed off. During a night driving in Russia, this driver suffered a head-on so violent it was hard to believe. In Arizona, a driver captured a rollover that nobody saw coming. I bet this driver is still in shock about this.
I wasn't that behind because I thought, oh! What happened? What did he do?
At an intersection, two drivers crashed and everything ended in the worst way possible. I'm glad I wasn't the one who captured the crash. If this hadn't been captured, no one would believe it.
To let us go. The female officer dropped her arms to her sides. We want to let you.
One of my worst nightmares is driving on icy roads, and accidents like this are the reason why. This driver experienced the most brutal crash, and I'm just relieved it wasn't me. In Florida, a speeding car provoked a crash that ended in a fatal way. This crash was insane because both cars were destroyed. This driver tried to avoid a crash, but he failed really badly. Looks bad, but not as bad as this collision. In Russia, a reckless driver tried to overtake, but he had no idea it would end in a disaster. In Canada, a driver captured a crash that ended in devastation. But that's not the only accident that happened in Canada.
Oh! Wow! Paano? Ayun!
In Nevada, a brake check ended terribly wrong. In the UK, this driver was on Liverpool Street, but suddenly this happened. This looks staged, but unbelievably, it is not. In Texas, a driver captured a crash that left nothing but chaos. What started as a normal drive in Canada quickly turned into a nightmare. Speaking of Canada, look at this crazy rear end. On this highway, a dash cam captured a wreck that totally destroyed the cars. This rollover in Georgia shocked everyone. This crash in Texas left irreversible damage.
Oh my goodness.
In the Czech Republic, a driver lost control and captured absolutely everything. This car literally appeared from nowhere.
At 23, I bought it all just to make sure.
doubt the world's top mechanic could save this car.
Toward the Parkway. In Queens, we have some good help in the Vantage north, from a little north of Linwood Boulevard up the hillside out of southbound from Jackie Robinson Parkway to Atlantic Avenue. Out of the LIE, getting word of a crash eastbound just past Queens Boulevard, and traffic starting to back up.
Usually rear ends are not a big thing, but this one is wild.
In this area. In this area.
This guy rammed that car.
Are you all okay? Yeah. You okay? It's okay.
This could be AI generated, but sadly it is not. In Pennsylvania, this driver was driving through the intersection when things took a turn. A similar ending happened in South Carolina, as you can see in this video. This crash in California almost ended in a calamity. However, this impact was even more shocking. I've seen enough accidents to know that speeding on wet roads is a terrible idea. The driver's expression says it all. Never steal a car if you don't know how to drive correctly. In Indiana, a dash cam captured a crash that left nothing but ruins. In South Carolina, a surveillance camera caught a T-bone that ended terribly wrong. On a highway in Texas, a driver recorded a crash that you won't believe. In Washington, a surveillance camera caught a crash that destroyed the car. On a highway in Michigan, a driver captured an unbelievable rollover. This is the reason why you should always check your back before moving.
Look on the Virgo app.
But that's not as crazy as this crash in Indiana, where it seems like two drivers were fighting. In Arizona, a driver witnessed a wild head-on collision. That driver in the car in front of the dash cam is probably the best in the world. That was really expensive, but not as much as this crash. I hope they had insurance. In Texas, a driver captured the exact moment where everything went absolutely wrong. This driver tried to turn, but this happened. This car crashed violently and the repair bill might cost thousands.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Damn.
Expensive repair, but not as expensive as this one. Impatient driver plus karma equals predictable ending. During a traffic stop in the Czech Republic, this happened. On a wet highway, that car aquaplaned and a crash that left nothing but ruins unfolded. This driver had no clue that disaster was just around the corner.
Continue on Lock Hill Selma Road for 1 mile.
I bet this driver is still traumatized.
Can I get a first on here? Can I call on
11 Shepard.
Is this trucker blind? Or was he really distracted? Speaking of blind drivers, look at this rear end in Ohio.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus,
An officer was driving back home when he suddenly captured this. This driver literally lived a nightmare. California drivers are crazy. Driving there is like being a soldier in a war. In Florida, a distracted driver provoked an accident you won't believe.
Dude, we see some. Wow.
This driver captured the exact moment when everything spiraled out of control. In Michigan, a trucker captured a crash that caught everyone off guard. At an intersection, an idiot decided it was his turn to accelerate.
What the fuck, man?
losing control, that red car provoked a crash that ended in a catastrophe. But this one was even more idiotic. This crash was crazy because this car almost rolled over. Once again, a new pit maneuver is shown in this channel, but this one has to be the largest I've ever seen. Speaking of pit maneuvers, look at this one in Georgia. Look at the left lane, it's catastrophic. This rear end is wild, and the best part is that you can see it from many angles. In Iowa, during a traffic stop, a car appeared from the absolute nowhere.